Hey there, my name is Jerry Gonzalez. This video reflects purely my thoughts, my learnings, my journey, and there are so many different topics of artificial intelligence that I could share with you, going into safety, governance, cost implications, everything like that, right? Even the IT aspect, as that's my particular domain. But over the years, I've studied a lot about artificial intelligence, and I felt compelled for some reason to share the business side of it, the business strategy, and how we should really be thinking about artificial intelligence, but more specifically, agentic AI, because this is where we are headed. We are in an agentic AI era for enterprise. This is not talking about consumer grade AI, right? This is where businesses are going. And it's a very powerful, it's a very powerful movement that's happening at the enterprise level, and it's mostly happening at the largest scale of enterprise, and it's starting to cascade down because all of the fog of AI and how we should be using it is demystifying, and the technology is starting to mature. And I can tell you, I've been to a lot of enterprise grade conferences in different industries. Right, I've attended the AI conference in San Francisco, I think back in 2022, 2023, something like that. I attended a few education-based IT conferences where the AI has been the main topic. I've attended some Cisco Lives. I'm at one right now. I'm in a hotel. And I've also attended the IAPP, International Association of Privacy Professionals conference, mostly with like paralegals and stuff, to get like the governance aspect of AI. So I have quite a lot of experience to talk about this subject. But I wrote down, there's so many videos I can make, but I wrote down 5 different thoughts here. And I'm sorry if this is a long video. I hope it provides some value to you. So thought number 1 is, we have entered an era where thought and thinking power has become a utility. Sit on that just for a moment. Thought has become a utility for businesses. Seriously, like water, like electricity, large language models bring a thought process. And they bring automation to a level that we've never seen before. And this allows process refinement, standardization, and it paves a path for value multiplication, like a value multiplier. And I'll explain all of that in this video, and hopefully you can see the trajectory of where we're going. And again, the fog of AI, I'll say it again, the fog of AI is dissipating. It's starting to clear up, and it's a pretty exciting time to be in. But if you're not knowledgeable, it can be a very scary time. It could be, am I going to lose my job kind of time? And I'm going to say this. This is my bold statement. Okay. Great businesses who understand proper AI implementation, they are not going to fire people because of AI. It's not going to happen. Now you may lose your job, or I'm not going to direct that to you, the audience. One may lose their job not because of AI is now doing it, more so, this is a pretty famous statement, because someone else who has learned or leveraging AI, that person has taken your job. So let's get into it. Thought as a utility. What does that even mean? Well, let's look at how this helps Sally. Sally, she has a desk in the office, comes in at 8 a.m., and Sally has a very busy workday. She is working with 50 different clients. That's a lot. She's working with 20 different clients today. She has a bunch of meetings, but between the meetings, 20 is a lot, right? Let's say she's working with 10 different clients. Between her meetings with those clients or phone calls, she has to process paperwork. She has to input data. It's all repetitive work. So what does Sally use Agentic AI for? And this is where the value comes into play. Sally will be augmented. She will be enhanced by AI. What happens is Sally has a work computer. This is where it's all going. Sally may have another computer on her desk solely for thought process. I'm not going to get into the technical bits of why, right? That's not what you're here to watch this video for. But what Sally's now able to do on her main computer is say, hey, digital worker Sally, hey, digital worker representative role, whatever that role is, whatever the title is, it has a digital worker. It's their personal digital assistant. I've met with this person, this client. Here's the paperwork. You know what to do. Do it. Go file it. Go do whatever you need to do. There's a whole list of standard operating procedures that has to happen once that meeting is ended. I don't want to do that repetitive, redundant work. Do it. I need to meet with my next client. Boom. Now that other computer that she has on her desk is able to do all of that thought process. It's now the utility, and it does it. So many videos I can make just off of that particular idea. Just think of process refinement, and that'll get your brain thinking like, oh, this little other computer can actually do the process much more reliably, much faster, at a higher level than Sally could. But Sally's now opening up her time to actually see other clients and bring in more business and drive more value. So smart businesses are not going to fire people, terminate people over bringing AI in. Smart businesses will take their 10 representatives, give them Agentic AI as a companion, and enable them to be much more valuable. So we can handle much more business in the same amount of time and seriously drive value. That's super impactful right there. So that is the concept. That's how it helps Sally. And goodness gracious, I can probably make another video because it does not stop there on Sally's little second machine. There's a whole architecture of distributed AI agents. Okay. So we talked about process refinement. The task can be done the same way every single time, no mistakes, much faster than Sally can, but Sally can work on the human important work, much higher level work. We can now upskill Sally to handle bigger and better things. Sally becomes a manager for the agent. But Sally also has to cross-check the agent's work. There has to be human process in there to make sure that the agent is doing the work correctly. At least until we can trust AI. We're not there yet. We're almost there, but we're not completely there yet. Oh man, I guess I am going to talk about this, the levels of Agentic AI. So the 5 points that I had were: 1, thought as a utility, which I went over. Number 2 was levels of Agentic AI. I'll go over that right now. Number 3 was how this helps Sally. So now you know how we bought Sally some time back and how she can bring more value to the company. The company can extract more value, bring more clients in to make better business. Number 4, process refinement. We talked about that. Number 5, how it all becomes a value multiplier. So we talked about 4 of the 5 so far. I guess we've got about a minute left. I want to make this roughly a 10-minute video. We'll talk about the levels of Agentic AI. So yes, we have a computer on Sally's desk that handles low thought, right? It's a much smaller type of thought. Now Sally's request goes to her computer, but then from that agent, that digital agent on her desk, it may go over to a much stronger computer for the location itself, which processes location-wide tasks. So you need stronger compute, you need stronger computers to handle that. Once that happens, maybe there's a region of locations. So now that agent, the location agent, talks to the regional agent, which lives at like a data center. That regional agent can bring other insights or provide highly sensitive information like HR information. Things that you don't want to offload to third-party cloud providers or something potentially. So there you go. And then obviously from the data center, you can go into cloud to handle much bigger strategy type things than you offload to frontier models. which can be mostly strategy and executive level thought. So this is where, as you can see, thought has become a utility. Depending on the level of the task, the level of the agent changes, and the intelligence of the agent changes based on the demand. Anyway, I could talk forever about many different topics. We talked about quite a lot. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm curious. I'm curious to hear what you think. See ya.